So the word de. So de literally means belonging to or of something. Okay? In English, I always tell people it's as simple as apostrophe S. Now, some of you younger grade 1s or grade 2s might still be a bit confused about what the word apostrophe means. But it's like if you want to say, it is Tom's car. Tom's car. So, Tom. And then that little line, Tom's car. So this apostrophe S literally means possessive form, is the fancy way of saying it. It just means it's belonging to Tom. It belongs to Tom. Or it is of a certain kind. So in Chinese, you will also use de for adjectives. Okay? So you will say 大的 or 小的 or 小的. If you want to ask someone, there's 2 apples, do you want the big one or the small one? If you say, I want an apple, then you can ask them, 大的还是小的? 还是 means or. 大的还是小的? You can ask them. Okay, so the is put at the end of da and 小. Same thing with colors. Okay, so 红色的 蓝色的 黑色的. Okay, so it is used to make the color, because the color is a noun, it's used to make the color an adjective. So this week, actually, I have a really, really cool YouTube link for you guys. It is the story, and a lot of you will know the book Brown Bear, What Do You See? I see a red bird looking at me. So, because you already know the story and because the pictures tell the story for you, every page repeats itself. He says, Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. So, we haven't learned all the animal names yet. We've learned some. But you'll be able to pick them up as you go along. That's how we learn languages, is by visuals, by seeing, by hearing, by guessing, by figuring out. So this is the perfect story to do that with. So the story will basically go, 棕, remember 棕色, 棕色 is brown. 棕色的, I want you to pay attention to that word, de, every time in the story, okay? So, 棕色的熊 is a bear. 棕色的熊 你在看什么? Do you remember? We just learned the word 看. What? 你 is you. We've learned that before. 你在 can mean 2 things. The word 在. We've also talked about this in class. 在 can mean at a place, to be at somewhere. 我在这里. 这里 is here. 你在哪里? 哪里 is there. 我在这里. 你在哪里? Okay? So, 在 can mean at a place. 在 can also mean to be busy doing something. Or, 在 I'm busy looking at. I am looking at. Not just I look. That would be 我看, I look. I am busy looking at. 我在看. Okay, so 棕色的熊你在看什么? 什么 means what? 你在看什么? It means you are busy looking at what? We're going to break down his reply very quickly. So he answers, he says, 我在看见. So 看见 is just a more complete way of saying 看. Don't worry about it too much. I'm going to explain more about it next week. So just accept that 看见 is 看, looking, I'm looking at. 我在看见一只红色的鸟. Niao is bird. So why does he, for a red bird, he says 一只红色的鸟? So 一只, do you remember we talked about measure words? If you want to say one person or a person, you cannot say 一人. You have to say 一个人. That's known as the Chinese measure words. And English doesn't really have that. But Chinese, every time that you want to put a number before a noun, In between the two, you have to put the noun's measure word. Now, most nouns all use ge. Most animals use zhi. You'll see in the story there's one or two animals that don't use zhi. For example, fish. A fish is not yi zhi yu. It is yi tiao yu. But we'll get to that. Please don't worry too much about the measure words, guys. Don't worry if you get it wrong. For safety's sake, if you cannot remember the measure word for something, just always use ge. And, we will learn them as we go along. That's just the natural way of learning. It's just by hearing and repetition. So don't worry if you cannot remember the measure word. I just want you guys to get used to the rhyme. So, 棕色的熊，棕色的熊，你在看什么？我看见一只红色的鸟。So I'm going to just leave out the measure words for now. I want to just go through the animal names very quickly. This is the last page of the book that shows all of the animals. So 棕色的熊，红色的鸟，黄色的鸭子，蓝色的马，绿色的青蛙，紫色的猫，白色的狗，黑色的羊， and then 橘色 or 橙色的鱼, and then there's a teacher 老师 and children is 孩子们. So don't overthink it too much. I hope this makes sense. Go watch the story.